share the best practices with you all every single month. We would like to share the best practices with you all so that you all can use AI to the most, and you all can also guide the children how to use AI. Okay, so we have a small community. So we have a WhatsApp group, and we do this. It's been around. This is the 14th session. Basically, we've covered topics like how to teach programming in schools, how to teach coding in schools, how to use ChatGPT, how to introduce gaming along with programming and things like that. So every month we come up with new topics. Whatever we feel is important for educators to learn and teach is something that we cover. So today the topic is going to be top AI tools. So we'll not limit it to three. We'll limit it to maybe three applications. So applications like, what are the best tools to create presentations? What are the best tools to create MCQs? What are the best tools to create multiple choice questions or question papers? And what are the best tools to do your research, develop content, all of those things. So we'll cover around 5-6 tools in the next 15 minutes. The recommendation for you all is that please have a note. We are anyways recording this video and we are going to share it with you all on YouTube. But please make a note because we are going to run through all the tools and how to use them. Okay, so the first question to all of you all is, how many of you all have to develop presentations and use presentations as one of the medium to teach in school? You all can just say a yes or do a thumbs up so I get to know if my audience is using presentations. Okay. Okay, wonderful. I think a lot of you all. In this session, we're going to cover a lot of things. So it is possible that one application is not relevant to you. So maybe you all are not using presentation. That's fine. So there will be at least one thing that will help you all. So, in the next 50 minutes, I will go through it. Having said that, first, let's quickly understand what is artificial intelligence, and so that everyone is on the same page and we can quickly jump on the tools. By definition, artificial intelligence is simulating human intelligence through machines. Okay, so that is the basic definition of artificial intelligence, where machines are trained to use human intelligence and simulate human intelligence, make decisions on their own. They are fed with data. And so there are 4 types of learning that AI can do. One is supervised learning, which basically means the data is fed and the outcomes are also very specific. Then there is unsupervised learning, where machines learn on their own. For example, ChatGPT, it's a generative AI, which means the outcomes are not defined. It depends on the question. So it is unsupervised learning, where a lot of data is fed and the algorithm is such that it can learn on its own and keep generating newer answers and newer solutions. Then there is reinforced learning, which means, for example, the code is such that it is very specific in terms of learning. For example, auto-driving cars. So it has been already coded down. How should it decide the route? How should it decide when to slow down, when to quicken the speed, when to take a right, when to take a left? So it has already been reinforced. So that is one type of artificial intelligence, which is called as reinforced learning. So now the core question is it going to take away our jobs? What do you all think? I know you all might think the picture is very irrelevant here, but still the question is it going to take away our job? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Okay, Mr. D'Souza says yes. So Neil says no. Helen ma'am says yes. Pooja says yes. Okay, Mr. Chavi says we don't know. Okay, let me give you all a quick example on the answer to this. You all see this beautiful Indian bride on the left. Isn't she really beautiful? I mean, perfect features, beautiful dress, beautiful mehndi, beautiful makeup, right? Now, I also worked, I'm not sure if you all would know about it, in the Middle East and in India, it's famous. So I also worked at a place called Kaya Skin Clinics. Do you all know about it? Yes, no? Have you all heard about Kaya Skin Clinics? So it has around 25 branches in Middle East and 75 in India. Okay, super. So I worked there for a couple of years. I was in the marketing team there, and we had a bridal campaign to run. Okay, and in that bridal campaign, we had limited budgets, so we had to ensure that we do it within the budgets. So we were given around 1.5 lakh rupees, within which we had to do a bridal campaign shoot with a model. So we started looking for a model. So model costed us around 50,000 rupees. So one was the model. Then we had to find out a photographer, then someone who can help us with the dress, which was a designer, then a henna artist, makeup artist, jewelry artist. Around 7, 8 such people is what we needed to get this completed. And the budget went up from 1 lakh to around 3.5 lakhs. And that is what it took to get a small photo shoot done. Okay. But now the picture that you all see on the screen right now is not a real bride. It is an AI generated picture. Okay. I generated it using a platform called Midjourney, which took me around 10 minutes while sipping my tea. And it created this beautiful picture. Is it making sense? Yes, no? Do you all think, yeah, can make out from the facial features? Okay, yeah. But unfortunately, I couldn't make out from the facial features because she looks so real that it's almost like a real person. But it is not. It is an AI generated art. But what is the impact? What is the impact of this? I could do it. I spent around 150 rupees for the subscription of Midjourney. So Midjourney costs around 800 rupees and it can help us create around 10-15 arts. So this probably costed me what, $100? And it costed me just 10 minutes of my time, where we had spent around 3 lakh rupees to search for a model, to compromise with jewelry and so many things. Has it taken away any job in this example? Yes, no? No, Ms. Rashmina, how no? Yes, so Ms. Chavi says you took away jobs. I didn't take away the job. Of course, this is just an example. But yes, you took away jobs of photographer, makeup artist, and designer. Yes, that's true. So now, at least the basic photo shoots, a lot of designs can be done without the requirement of a designer or a makeup artist or a photo shoot person. She has 5 fingers in her left hand. Is it? Oh, okay. Might be that's just a reflection. Oh, wonderful observation. Whoever has made that observation, Mr. Hussain.
So I can, Dhruv, if I
Yes,
can
Nishant.
interrupt for a second. So once I start my part, I'll definitely address this part where why does she have 5 fingers in her left hand part as well.
Oh, okay. Okay, but superb. We need a person to do this. So here, so of course, this is not a topic for today, but yes, Miss Dipti, we need a person to do this. But I did it. I was anyways a part of the marketing team, and if I could do this with just 10 minutes or 15 minutes of my time and just investing 500 rupees, then I did not need a model, I did not need a photographer, I did not need a designer, I did not need so many other people who would have otherwise been required. But having said that, the point is that the only difference, it might not really take away our jobs. So that is probably the truth. It might not take away the jobs, but it will create a big difference between people who are using it and people who are not using it. Okay, so imagine an educator who's really using all the AI tools, improving efficiencies, some things which have taken 2 days for her to create, and she could create it in a couple of hours. And she is using a productive time in doing so many other things, as compared to someone who does not use any technology, going the other way and investing a lot of time in doing mundane tasks. Ultimately, over years, it will create a huge difference between the professionals who are using AI or using technology and those who are not. And ultimately, those who are not using it might become redundant after some point of time. They might not lose job, but the progress of the people who are using it might be very fast. Does this make sense? Yes, no? Do you all agree? Do you all not agree? Person with AI will replace person without AI. Possible, possible. Um, the business owners will hire you instead of someone who doesn't know AI. Probably yes, probably yes. That is the right way of understanding, and that is the reason we are taking this topic today for all of us. So we'll quickly move on. Yes. In AI, what are the applications? So this is a broad category of application, but we'll see some real application in our case studies in the next 45 minutes. First is intelligent tutoring. So there are AI-powered systems. Even if you all do a quick search right now, AI-powered platform for adaptive learning, you all will get to see that there are so many platforms which will make the learning experience very tailored to every student's needs. Then for grading and assessments, there are platforms using AI. For personalized learning, so each student, suppose a student is very weak in math, then automatically the learning experience in math will be very different from someone who is very strong in math. So, it can adapt the learning experience for the child based on their strengths and weaknesses. And analytics. So the teacher can also identify a group students, this group of students is very good in creatives. This group is very good in math. This group is very good in science, and accordingly plan the execution of the entire curriculum and understand and analyze who is doing better in what can be trained to a particular batch of students. The limitations and challenges of AI. First is data privacy and security. Right now, it is not using a lot of data, but very soon it might ask for a lot of data and start using it. So data privacy might be a challenge very soon. Now, major concern is this lack of transparency. So when you're using any particular platform, for example, ChatGPT, you do not know the code behind it. You do not know the algorithm behind it. And hence you wouldn't know why the outcome. For example, if while recruiting, suppose I'm a recruiter, and if I am recruiting and if I ask the AI system to select the best candidates for me, it might select probably 4 candidates. Now, I wouldn't know why exactly has it selected these particular 4 candidates. Understand? So the lack of transparency of algorithms is something that is a limitation of AI. And the most concerning limitation is the bias in ethics. I'm sure you all understand what a bias is, but what is a bias in AI? While I'm feeding a lot of data to the system, one thing we have to understand that AI works on all the data that it has been fed. Okay, so based on that, it analyzes. Suppose my data is already with a bias. Suppose while feeding the data out of 100 data samples, I had only 5 samples of females. And in those 5 samples of females, I had only 1 black female. Okay, this is just an example. Now, it has only a data sample of 1 black female to decide for. And suppose that 1 black female was not very good with analysis, just an example, which means now the AI system will believe that black females are not good with analysis because it has just 1 sample. And this will create a bias. So now when I will ask AI to decide, out of these 100 applications, select the top 5 for me. It might not select any black female because it believes that no, the data that was provided before has a bias, which means whatever example I had given before. So there are biases based on the data which it was fed on. So we have to be very conservative with the output of AI. Benefits for the educators, we'll quickly cover this. Enhanced teaching and assessment. So the way it enhances teaching is that you don't have to invest a lot of time in mundane tasks. For example, if you all want to plan some particular activity in your class, you all don't have to really think about what to do, how to do it. You can ask AI to plan the activity. You must just focus on executing it. Or if you're planning a beautiful annual day script, now you all don't have to invest a lot of time on writing the entire script. You all can ask ChatGPT or any particular platform to create a basic script for you, or basic poem for you, and then you all can focus on the execution of the entire play, and it can enhance the execution. Save time on administrative tasks. So if you all have to create question papers, lesson plans, MCQs, write emails, write notices, all these are administrative tasks, and you all can avoid spending a lot of time here if you all use AI efficiently. And we are going to study today how can you all actually use it. Increase in student engagement and motivation. While it is very personalized for each group of students, it can also increase the engagement and motivation. With this, we'll quickly jump on to our first tool for today, which will help us create presentations. So for presentations, we'll not just do one tool. We'll do at least 3 to 4 tools, and you all can decide what is it that you all would want to use. Okay, are we all ready? Maybe can I get a quick thumbs up so I can quickly move on to that topic? Okay, perfect. So the first tool that we are going to use today is Slides AI. Okay, so you all can just do a quick search on Google. It's called Slides AI. Now, this only works basically with Google Slides. It also works with PowerPoint, but this is meant to be used with Google Slides. Okay, so if you all have any questions, you all can shoot right now. I can take a 1 minute walk through all the questions and move on to the solutions. Okay, so slides.ai. So I'll quickly start sharing my screen. How to use slides.ai. So can you all see, Nishan, can you see my Google Slides right now?
No, it's just showing that the previous
Okay.
benefits for the experience.
Okay. Okay. Do you all see it now?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is Google Slides. So how do you all integrate? So I'll start a new presentation. How to get started with slides.ai. So basically you all search for Slides AI. You just have to install Slides AI in your Google platform. So let me do this quick search on.
But the search we are doing is not showing. You can share.
Yeah, you can see the search now.
Yes.
Perfect. So this is what it looks like. This is the first tool for today, Slides AI. You all have to install this. Once it is installed, you all can immediately start using it in your Google Slides. So suppose this is the blank presentation that we have. How to get started? So there is something called as tools here. This is the first step.
Okay.
In extensions. Under
Are you showing
extensions,
some slides through?
Tell your search pages there.
just a second.
We are showing. Yes. Now
No, I just moved it. Can you see it?
yes. Yeah.
Okay. So the first step here is under extensions. Once you have installed Slides AI, under extensions, you all will see one extension here, which is slidesai.io. Okay. Here, you all can select on generate slides. So we'll create the prompt together right now, and the same prompt will be used on multiple platforms to see what the output is like. Okay. Okay, I'm sharing another screen. Okay, can you all see the screen now, Nishan?
Yes.
Okay,
We are able to see that Google Slides.
Yes,
Yeah.
perfect. So under
Let me share.
extensions, we'll go to slides.ai, generate slides. Once we click on generate slide, it will ask us for a prompt. So here today, what we're going to do is we'll try to create some slides around Charles Darwin's theory on evolution. So we'll quickly create a prompt. Create slides on Charles Darwin's theory on evolution create 8 slides with explanation, examples, applications, limitations, is history, and conclusion or the summary. Not use any placeholders. And this is number of slides. I'll increase it to maybe 8 slides. Add title, add thank you slide, add images. So there we go. It says that please enter at least 350 characters. So we can just add a little bit on, add as much information as possible.
Target audience.
And use images. Okay, and we'll have to still keep typing to ensure it is more than 350 words.
You can mention about target audience, like what kind of target audience you have.
Yes. This will be used with students of
You are on mute. After you hit generate your
okay.
last statement.
Okay, perfect. So now let us quickly move on until it is generating. Let us quickly move on to the second tool to create presentations. It is called Wepic. So let me quickly show it to you all. It's called WEPIC, Wepic, under which there is something called as AI Presentation Maker. So I'll click on AI Presentation Maker. You all can select the designs. So maybe let us create a simple black design. Here also the same kind of prompt. I have given the same prompt around Charles Darwin's evolution theory. Here a detailed summary of the theory with examples, analogies, limitations, and summary. Okay. Now we'll ask this platform to create it. Generate. I hope you all are able to see and follow this. Yes. Yes. Okay. So now this is creating. We'll give it time to create. And I hope you are making notes about it. Okay. So now we'll quickly see what was created. So there we go. You all see the slides? So
Yes.
I'm sharing it full screen. So it gives, so now please make a note that this is giving us just the skeleton of the entire slide with a design, with a basic design. When we see it first starts with the theory of evolution, it does not really explain a lot about the theory. Then it gives a basic structure of what should the content go like. It gives examples, but it does not explain any particular example. Then it mentions about application, but it just mentions the application, does not really explain any particular application. The limitations and the users. This is what we had asked it to create. But now the limitation is that it does not really delve into a lot of content. It has just given us the skeleton or the structure of the entire PPT. And now we'll have to kind of do our research and invest time on putting in the information. Okay, so this was the first tool. When can we use this? We can use this basically when we understand we have the content, but we quickly want someone to design it for us, create a structure for us, and we can just paste the content in it. Does it make sense? Yes, no? Perfect. So now we'll quickly jump onto our second tool, which is the Webpick tool that we had created. It has also created some slides. Let us quickly see. Nishant, can you see the slides now?
Yes,
Webpick?
yes, we are able to see.
Okay, so now this is what it has created. It has actually given a deep explanation of what this theory is. It has also used some relevant images of the moth. Here's the introduction to the first slide. So Charles Darwin's theory of evolution, also known as the theory of natural selection, is a scientific explanation for how species change over time through the process of adaptation. Now it explains what is natural selection. It explains what is adaptation. It explains examples of natural selection. What are the limitations of the theory? And the conclusion. Makes sense, everyone? So now this was much, much better than the first one because the first one did not have any content. This has good design plus basic content for us to quickly get started with. Does this make sense? So we are going in the order. Yeah, so we are quickly going ahead in the order of the best tool. Now we are going to use the third best tool, in fact, which is one of the best tools that I have found. And the third tool for creating presentation is Tome.ai. So it's called Tome.ai. So I'll share my screen quickly. Okay, can you all see my screen?
Yes.
So here, again, we'll do the same thing. What we'll do is we'll copy paste the same prompt here, where we'll mention about create presentation on Charles Darwin's theory of evolution. And we'll quickly give it a go. Now it will first generate an outline for us, which we'll have to go through approve, and then it will create. So it has created an outline which mentions the first point which it will cover is the introduction, then the journey on the HMS Beagle, natural selection, evidence, controversies, impact. And we can say, great, go ahead. And now it has started creating the slides. So now this is the third best, I mean, in the order of its usage. Okay, now let us quickly go through all the slides. I think it is done creating. Okay, so this is what a slide looks like. Survival of the fittest journey through Darwin's theory of evolution. This is the agenda. Now it uses good, beautiful images and a very detailed explanation of the concept. Now it mentions about the sailing mission that he had, then the concept of natural selection and the images relevant to it. You can also see the images are also very beautiful, colored, and the text is also nice. It's just that it is too much of a text, but it is good explanation. Evidence, controversies surrounding evolution, impact of the theory. That is it. And that's it. So it has created this much of a slide because we had very limited form. So if we had also mentioned about the applications, it would also give the application. But we have limited time. I just wanted to share the first tool that you all can use. It's slides.ai. Second that you all can use was Webpick, which is WEPIK. Third that we used just now is Tome.ai, which is TONE.ai. And the best tool, according to me, is this. And this is the last tool that we're going to cover for presentations. After this, we'll move on to content development tools. This tool is called Gamma. GAMMA, gamma.app. And this is a beautiful tool to create presentations. So I'll quickly show the same kind of prompt and what has it created for us. So I'm presenting it now. It's the same kind of a prompt. You all can see the screen, right, Nishant?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, perfect.
Gamma's presentation.
So this is the Gamma presentation. Now let's look at what it has covered. So beautiful image, nicely presented first page. Introduction to the theory. And you also see the background is also very beautiful. There is a feature called a spotlight, which means as we speak, we can go through the highlights. So introduction to Darwin's theory, then first paragraph, second paragraph is highlighted, and the third paragraph. Then we move on to the next slide, the overview of the theory. Then it mentions about principles of natural selection. But what should be seen here is the beautiful design content here, the numbering, the bullets, and how it is designed. The principles of natural selection. Then it moves on to examples of natural selection. Do you see how design templates are used? I think this is the best template I've seen. Examples and images are also very relevant. Perfectly picked up. Applications of the theory. It also covers the applications in medicine, in agriculture, in conservation. Limitations of the theory. And there's another variety of its design. Missing links, mechanism of inheritance, rate of evolution, complexity of life. And in the end, it will give a conclusion. But what's the most beautiful thing about this particular platform is that you can still make a lot of changes in the design. So you all don't need to, accept the design the way it is. You can make a lot of personalizations here. So if you see card templates or there's a robot called AI, suppose I've selected this particular slide and on this, I wanted to expand on this with more detail. I'll ask it to expand and it will change here. One of the limitations is also that it will not really take into account all of your queries. So now you see that this has an expansion of all those points. So now this is a new slide for me. I can keep this suggested one or I can keep the original one. And I can again go ahead and make some changes in the next slide. Suppose if I want to make changes in the theme, I can change the theme, I can change the layout, and I can change the design as well. And it will not take me more than 1 minute. Does this make sense, everyone? I think this was, what do you all think? Which one for you all was the best amongst these particular presentation tools? You all can say one is Slides AI, second is Webpick, third is Tome, and fourth is Gamma. What do you all think? Gamma? Okay. What do the others think? Gamma? Mhm. Now, let me also tell you all, amongst these, only Slides AI is a free tool, basically. And almost everyone, all of these tools have a freemium version, which means initially they would give you some credits, around 500 credits, 350 credits, and you will be able to create beautiful slides, around 5 to 7 presentations, and after that you all will have to pay for it. So keep that in mind while you all opt for all these platforms. So someone has asked me, can you repeat the options? So the first option is Slides AI. Second option is Webpick, which is WEPIK. Third is Tome, TOME, Tome.app or Tome.ai. And the last one is Gamma. Make sense? Okay, if everyone is good, then we can move on to the next section. And next section will be around content generation for educators. And it will be taken ahead by Nishant. Over to you, Nishant.
Great. Hi, hello everyone. Great content through. I think all the slide generation activities are awesome. I hope I'm audible properly to everyone.
Yes, I can hear you.
Teachers would be able to use this for a lot of quick presentations, which generally I assume a lot of teachers would be in a hurry to make for maybe a lecture or for a workshop or something like that. And in fact, the presentation we were using was from Grammar itself. Or
Yes,
you
actually,
wanted to
the
add?
presentation with which we started this entire discussion was made on Gamma,
Yes.
and it basically took me 7-8 minutes to create that entire presentation and design.
Yeah. You can download them. So something.
Yes, you can download it. You can download it as PPT, PDF, however you would want, and you can also share it.
Okay, so we will also share all these options and all these links to these tools in our emailer, which we generally do after the workshop, right? Or do you want to paste all the links right now in the chat? People ask.
No. So what I do is you can download. Yes, Ms. Archana, you can download presentations. What we'll do is I'll share the links while Nishan is explaining. I'm sharing the links in the chat box.
Great. That's great. That's a great idea. So I'll start with my one of the presentations about some AI tools for educators again, but these tools would really be focused on generating content which you can use for your daily classroom activities. So if you are a teacher who is daily entering the classrooms and you need content for presenting it to your students, you need content for learning for yourself, you need content which you want to share with your students, or you want to prepare a question paper for testing your students. So all these tools we will be sharing. There are not much of them, but we will be sharing the best of them, so you get a better idea of sharing. Let's see for now. Great. So we'll start with the first one quickly right off the bat. Since we have already understood what these AI tools are, now Dhruv gave us a great introduction to what AI tools can do and how they work. So we'll jump on the best one right now is magicschool.ai. This is something which is probably free of cost up to a certain limit, and it has its own limitations and everything. But let's try to explore this. So as we have already discussed, that it will help us to write lesson plans, IEPs, assessments, and obviously improve our communication as well. So as a teacher, if I really want to improvise on leveling the content as per the age group of the students, then I think this would be again one of the best tools to do this. So just to give everyone an idea and understanding of what these tools can do. So first, one of the tools feature is about conceptual understanding generator. Okay, so we generate ideas about conceptual topics, and so if you want to explain a particular topic, this tool can help you generate an idea on how to explain that topic, and in an easier manner, and probably in a way which maybe you could have used earlier, maybe you could have not used earlier, but it's a great tool to check out. Right. Then we have a lesson plan generator, where I think obviously it's an obvious thing for every teacher that a teacher needs a lesson plan, and the lesson plan is a must for a teacher who is learning for themselves as well. So if we have a lesson plan in hand, the lecture becomes really smooth and faster and easier to go. So this tool also has a lesson plan. And these are a few tools which I'm highlighting. Obviously, I'll quickly take you to the platform as well, and let's start doing these things in action as well. We have a rubric generator. What I have observed in all these years of my experience is that having rubrics for education and having rubrics for teaching whatever you want to do and for testing the students, it's a great idea to have a rubric and understanding what the kids can do. So I think most of the teachers who are aware of it, they would get a great platform for generating rubrics for their content. And the last one is the academic content generator. You can create customized topics for your class and criteria for your class. So instead of talking more about it, let's just quickly jump on to the platform. So this is magicschool.ai. You can just Google search for it. We'll paste the link here as well. Even I will right away paste the link for magicschool.ai along with Dhruv. So we'll have the link here for everyone. Is everyone able to see the screen, the interface? So I'm currently logged in to magicschool.ai with my Google account. You can also do the same thing, and it shows a list of tools right off the screen, first screen, and there's a huge scroll bar at the on the right hand side, if you can see, and these are all the tools which we can use. So not to overwhelm and anyone, I'll just begin with a simple tool, that is conceptual understanding. Let's open there and understand the interface first. So on the left hand side, you will see this panel here, which shows that what is this tool about. So it generates ideas about how to help your students build conceptual understanding, correct? So to build up the conceptual understanding, we'll give you ideas. Okay, so this tool is just generating ideas on how to explain a topic and for a particular standard, whatever you want to do in your class. Okay, so we'll first select the grade level. Okay, so maybe an 8th grade student. Okay, here you will mention the topic. You can also mention the standard or something else, but I think that's covered with the grade. So you can mention the topic which you want to explain, provide some additional context related to the topic, but that's optional as well. So you can see there will always be some part which is optional, which you can skip if you are in a hurry, and you can mention the topic. So I will first start with say something called as variables in computer programming. As a teacher, I don't want to spend time on understanding what is variables in computer programming. But I want students to understand it very nicely. So once we hit generate, it comes up with real life analogies for explaining what a variable is. And I think the reason why we are showing this tool to you is because it generates the content really in an accurate way. So if we try to go in depth of understanding that how accurate the content is or how correct the content is, it might fall back sometimes, or it might have its own limitation. But at the first look, I think you can read this out that use real life analogies to explain the concept of variables. For example, you can compare variable to a box or a container that hold different types of items, correct? So then maybe it can give the teacher an idea that in a kitchen we have a lot of containers showing a lot of different types of items in there, right? So we have one of that example here as well. There are interactive visualizations as well, where students can create variables and stuff like that. So it gives us a lot of ideas, collaborative problem solving. So you can also do that. You want to anyone wants to suggest any topic which you think we can try to generate a content, or maybe which recently you have been trying to look out to generate content or analogies for that as well. Anyone can type in the chat and suggest any example for that. Now, obviously, matter and factors responsible for. So you said chemistry matter. Okay. You said matter in terms of chemistry. Yeah. So you can say. Okay, let's try to generate that. So it generates pretty fast as well. So it's giving us some options. And what about if you don't like it? So if you're reading this and if you are a chemistry teacher, then I think you would be the best judge whether the content is really relative, not relative. How much percentage of confidence do you think is available here to take it up to the classes? So by far, I am a computer science programmer teacher as well. So whatever content it generates, it is almost 60 to 70% correct. And obviously, I have to give it a first look. I have to give it an understanding, and I can pick up ideas from it, but not exactly copy paste everything, right? But it's a great tool which will give us ideas, which will give us sometimes 70% correct confidence is like a great thing to pick up ideas, correct? So you conduct hands-on experiments. Students allowed to explore the different properties of matter. They can compare solubility of various substances and observe the effects of heat on different materials, correct? By engaging this experiment, students can develop a deeper understanding. It's one of the ideas, then concept mapping and real-world application. Great. So
just to
this is one of the.
If you all have any questions, please feel free to type it in the chat box, or we can also take it maybe in the end.
Yes. So another thing, since we have already understood how this tool works, not only the conceptual generator, but the magicschool.ai, there is a copy button here as well. You can immediately copy this and paste it wherever you want. it will come up in this format. You can summarize this note as well. You can shorten this up as well. Let's try to shorten this up in simple experiments or something like that. So it will shorten this note for you. Translate is in beta, but you can try it at your end as well. Correct. So taking things ahead, I want to explore one more such idea. Okay, great. So I think the next part would be generating a lesson plan. Great. Let us try to generate a lesson plan for any kind of a lesson. I would do it for a 4th grade student. Okay, and at first we have to mention the concept which we are teaching, the any additional concept context which you want to give, standards. So you can always mention that whether you are using any Bloom's taxonomy, or if your school is using any particular standard to create content. I think Bloom's taxonomy is what a lot of people do use for generating learning outcomes and generating verbs or learning verbs like that, right? So I will first start with understanding something very basic to student, maybe I don't know, any content, say functions. I want to introduce functions to a 4th grade student. So functions in computer programming. The level of students is really young. These are 4th grade students, and would they be understand? So keep the great for students. Anything else if you want to add, you can add here as well. Try to do real life examples and scenarios. Also, while typing, if you're in a hurry, don't worry if you put up a wrong spelling. The AI itself is trained to pick up wrong spellings and understand and make meaning and sense out of it as well. So it's okay. Right? So it's a lesson plan generator to introduce functions in computer programming. And as a teacher, if I take this to a class, I would be almost 60 to 70% ready to take this, like even before it's generating completed the generation and everything else. We can just make it out from the first key points that this would be a good understanding of what functions would do and what functions could, how can a teacher explain the functions to the real-time students, right? And also there are other tools as well we'll explore, but I hope this is giving a good sense of understanding. Yeah, you can do it for everything. Can we do it for maths and computer science MCQs? Yeah. So I will quickly move on to the another tool which we also have here. That is, I think, MCQ generator, right? Quiz, multiple choice quiz generator, text based. So this is a text based. Okay. So we have multiple generator for complex context. We have multiple generator quiz. Anything else? Any quiz? You can search for quiz here as well. Okay? Reading quiz generator. You try this. So you put your text here and it generates quiz on that as well. Right. So any 7th grade. So if you're looking for math-based questions as well, right? Anyone wants to suggest a topic on math? I can generate it on based of computers, like history of evolution of microprocessors. Was able to do any 10 questions. Okay, so if you don't give proper text, it will not give it. So you need text here as well, right? So right now it is just taking up random topics. Okay. So is it triangles, fractions? quiz generator, which I showed here. Okay, so we have an SAP practice generator as well. This I think text based only. So we can input any text which we want, but it has to be a lot of text which you want to generate your quiz on. But I think it works probably great. So let me pull up some text for you guys so that it's better, right? Just hold on for a second.
So I hope you are making note of these tools so you all can explore. So the objective of this session is to share those tools with you all. So you all can also go ahead and explore it. So we'll be sharing a couple of more tools after this.
So I pulled up some topics which students can probably give an understanding and on web-based development or website development related topics, which let's try to generate 10 questions and grade this 8, 7 is fine, 7 is fine. So once you give a set of topics, then it is able to generate a lot of good content and a lot of good questions. And if you're not happy with these questions as well, you can click generate again. It will try to give you a different set of answers as well. Okay. So also it gives us an answer key as well. So these questions also look, yeah.
Can you probably help us, understand what are top 5 users of this particular platform?
Sure. So there are a lot of tools. What I found it really useful for is first is this MCQ generator. Okay. Lesson plan generator. Then there is academic content generator. These are like the grade, and I think team builder and icebreaker tool is also nice if a teacher is really wanting to break some ice with the classroom or create activities with the class and introducing themselves for the first time. So that would be a great tool as well. If you're looking for at a position where you can generate the entire syllabus, I think syllabus generator is also a great tool. So you can generate whole set of syllabus from that as well. IEP is also an individualized education program. So if you want to you have a student whom you want to personalize, give personalized learning, I think IEP is best idea to do that as well. So there are a lot of tools given here, but in your daily life as well, you should be using a lot of this stuff, and there is a lot of stuff here as well, right? So I think one of the best tool, what I personally find one of my favorite tool is multiple explanations for complex concepts. I think this is the one which I feel that it should help the teachers the most, so that teachers would be able to understand the concept. No, they should be able to explain the concept to all grades, but the concept remains same, right? But how to explain it to a different grade, let's try to check it, right? So if I really want to try a difficult concept in programming, that is recursion in terms of computer program. 10th grade student, how would I explain it? So it shows that how do you explain this and that. Okay, great. So those who don't know recursion, maybe if they read it as a 10th grader, they should be able to understand it. It gives an explanation which is suitable for a 10th grader to read, and something like what are Russian dolls or what are this Matryoshka stacking and everything, fractal patterns. So these are Russian dolls, they're dolls which stack on each other. That's a great example of. But if you want to explain it to, say, third grader, is that really young to understand recursion or not? So here they start giving analogies, activities, another analogy. So a lot of analogies have increased, a lot of programming has decreased, right? So it's a lot of theory, but everything is an analogy, everything an example. Think of a tree with branches, and that is a great, like the simplest example of recursion, which you can have, saying that each branch can have more branches. This example, however, was not there earlier in the previous 10 standard case, right? So it really gauges the content as per the age, and I think it would be a great tool.
Great. Super. I think Nishant, I think that was a good summary. But is there any other tool that you wanted to cover?
Yes.
Because we have just
So-
have maybe 10-15 minutes.
Okay, so here after this magic tools are here. Obviously, we have one coach, AI coach, also given here by this Magic School.ai. That is Raina AI coach. This is same exactly the interface from ChatGPT. So if you have used ChatGPT earlier, you would be really comfortable with this. But here, I would really want you to use this application for generating question paper. Question paper in terms of I need 5 MCQs, I need 5 true or false, I need 5 theory question papers, or something like that. Even if you want to mention specific weightage and everything, I'll quickly stop sharing the screen and I'll share one of my window which can help you to show the prompt of the screen. Okay.
Yeah.
So this, once you see the screen. So the screen, are you able to see this prompt here on the screen?
You'll have to zoom it in a little. Yeah, we can read it.
So here I'm just typing a prompt in the exact similar pattern how you talk to ChatGPT. So we say you act as an expert educator and a content generation related to school education. I need to generate a question paper based on the following topics. Great. Include an answer key also at the end of the question paper. Here is the question paper format. Let it be like that. It's just an indicator and a marker for the ChatGPT to understand how things would work. We say generate 5 single choice based questions. Each question can have 4 options and 1 correct answer. These values you can change, right? Teachers do understand that. And generate 5 true or false type questions, generate 5 theory based type questions, which are WH type question or explain type questions. And then here, after this, you give a list of topics on which you want these questions from. So I'll say variables, recursive functions. I'll just copy this and come back to Raina chat. I hope this is visible. I'm on that chat interface from Raina coach. It is AI coach. So we just copy paste everything, put our topics here and just hit enter. So it should start generating the question paper. And I personally have generated a lot of question papers from here. Most of the time it is able to give me unique questions. So even if I'm generating say 100 questions today itself on the same topic or in a particular set of topics which are repeating, it should not give me repeated questions very frequently. Obviously, when you generate it in bulk, it might repeat the questions, but I think this is a good way to start generating question papers and understand how things would work, right? So as you can see, it has generated a really awesome question paper. It has 5 MCQs here, which are really good in quality to test the students. And it's not asking any bogus question, something which students can really answer easily, but they might have to think or try to test their memory as well, right? So which is the basic understanding of our exams, right? Even the theory questions are also good in terms of writing content. Students will have to think of an answer, write an example, and work on it as well. The answers are also great as a sample. And obviously, in the end, you can copy, paste, however you like. So there is a copy button at the end of every prompt. So this works as a prompt. We will send you this prompt as well if it's good for you, right? And you can use it for your question paper generation as well. Does it give a good understanding of, is the output going to vary with? Yes, obviously you can change the topics, you can change the prompts. So everything in the prompt can be changed, and you can modify your prompt accordingly how you want to present your data. Right? So you can ask it for a particular grade as well. You can mention the name of the grade as well, topics as well. You can mention the marks as well and everything. So accordingly, it will work and try to give you the prompts and this. So if it's good enough, just let me know if you have any questions as well. Right. So should we go on to one more tool as well if we have enough time through, or
I think we can. So
Yeah.
all those who would have some 5-7 minutes, I think this is a beautiful tool that Nishan wants to explain. So go ahead, Nishan.
so I would also like to introduce you to TextFX. This is a project by Google, Google Labs. So it's a Google project. So it's meant to be awesome and beautiful to learn and experience something from it. So before wasting any of my time on your time as well, I'll just take you to this. This is the link. I'm pasting it here on the chat as well for everyone. It is TextFX with google.com. And what does it do is basically try to improve our communication and content generation and language generation with students or with your daily life requirements as well. Okay, so here it provides us 10 different tools, and each of these square block is a tool. Okay, and it does something with your language understanding and communication. So it improves your communication skills greatly. So I think the first one is simile. Most of them are figure of speeches and the way we use and write. So first is simile. Create a simile about a thing or a concept. I would definitely first start with teacher because we just had Teachers Day. So teacher, so she is a beacon of hope in a sea of despair, shining light on the path to knowledge. Great. So I hope this is a great simile. Teachers looking to teach simile to students. If anyone wants to suggest something, I will just run quickly a few of them, which might be interesting for everyone. A simile for mobiles. It works on mobiles are child's toy. Okay, it's just a simile, right? It can be applied anywhere. Great. So I hope this gives an understanding. There is a temperature control button as well. If we are able to see that, this is the temperature control button. So temperature control button improves the accuracy of how close the answer could be. So 1 is closest and 0 is farthest from the answer, like hot and cold sort of thing, right? So you try to keep it on 0.7 and 0.8, somewhere in between average, 70 to 80% of confidence, how accurate the answer could be, correct? There are a lot of other tools. One is explode into similar sounding phrases. There is unexpect. So make a scene more unexpected and imaginative, correct? So I'll just say workshop on AI tools for educators. Okay, workshop on AI tools. Okay, so it has a limit of text as well, right? You see 25 characters only. So you enter a scene, something, there is a workshop on AI tools, and let's see, it is an experiment. So it's a workshop on AI tools that is taught by a cat. So it makes something unexpected out of a scenario. Okay, it's taught by a talking parrot. Great. So you can view all and just check all of them quickly. AI tools with Jeff Bezos leading the session and something like that. Talking parrot led by talking banana. So they can be funny as well, right? One thing I really like is RAP, that is acronym. You put up a word and it gives you, the full form or the acronym, which we generally, I don't know, we used to do it a lot in schools as well, and I see even today being done by students a lot in schools as well. If it's a Teachers Day, they will try to write the full form of teachers, like talented and something like that. But this one gives an acronym full form or like that, but it makes a sentence out of it, tries to make sense out of those answers as well, like those educating all children, helping everyone reach success. Something great, right? You want cat. All your results are always here. So cute, annoying, terrific, cute, aloof thing, cuddly and agile, temperament. Right? So it gives you a great understanding. Even if you try to put up something which is already an acronym, let's check whether it's able to guess what does it stand for, right? It will not work every time. It's just maybe 1 or 2 times it can. Let's try NASA. probably shouldn't and cannot also. You can just keep on trying. So never a single answer, right? So NASA it probably does. So it's not always. So it can always sometimes bring you the acronym full form as well, and also. So these are some of the tools which you can use, and I think it would be great for everyone to use that in their daily lives. Right.
Nishant, we'll have to. I mean, we are running out of time. So
Correct. So-
what I've done is, yeah, go ahead.
So I'm done for here for now.
You're done. Okay, wonderful. I think I personally love this tool because this adds a lot of creativity to what we're doing.
Daily
Uh, when we like basic concepts, if you really want to explain, and we are out of ideas, I think this will
Ideas,
give a lot of brainstorming ideas and ways in which we can really explain basic concepts to children in school. So
Yeah.
beautiful, and I think magicschool.ai was also beautiful. Is it a paid version? Does it have a
So
paid
Magic School does have like for now I've been using it since over a month and it has been free and never asked me for any payment. Till now you just have to log in using the Google. It has some paid features as well, but for now they are keeping it free. Maybe just because it's in inception or they have just
Okay.
started. So but it's free to use, so like we can make great use of out of it. Has
Perfect.
no limitations for now.
Okay, great. So thank you, Nishant. I think that was wonderful. So we've covered around 6 tools right now. We also have a couple of tools more, but I think we're out of time. But anyways, for those who have maybe 10-15 minutes, we can cover it for them. For the others, we are doing a couple of things. One is that I've entered a link of the feedback form. Now, in the feedback form, it's very important for you all because you all have to mention your full name so that we can create certificates on those names. And those name spellings should be correct. So we'll be creating certificates around it. So use that link and please fill it up so that we can then start creating certificates for you all. I'll add, so who all have already attended the workshop on Chat GPT, because I think the father or the mother or the best tool in AI until now that we've discovered is Chat GPT, because except for images and designs, it has been able to cover almost everything beautifully. So I will be spending a couple of minutes on Chat GPT for you all, although it was a 2-hour workshop just before this. But since this topic is upon the best tools for education, Chat GPT is definitely among the first, top 3 tools that we can use for education. So I'll show you all a couple of applications of Chat GPT in the next 5 to 10 minutes. So you all can stay tuned. If you all think you all are out of time, we understand. We'll share the recording with you all too. That is also fine. But it would really help you all if you all stay for the next 10-15 minutes and we can cover Chat GPT as a tool. Is it okay with everyone? So you all can quickly do a thumbs up and I can go ahead and do this. Perfect. So in the meantime, I'll also do one thing. I got a lot of requests on WhatsApp that they would want to schedule a interaction with us and understand how can they implement it in the school the next year. So what I'm doing is, just for the sake of convenience, I'm sharing a link in the chat box. So if you all want to schedule a small interaction just to understand what to introduce, how to introduce next year, or what is the structure like, then it's okay. Feel free to schedule a meeting using the link. Just select the slot that is available and wonderful, you would join there. Okay, I've just entered the link. That is a 30-minute meeting slot. And based on your availability, we can have a quick discussion there. Having said that, let me quickly start with ChatGPT without much ado. Okay, so multiple uses of ChatGPT. I'll quickly jump on to the main uses of ChatGPT. So first of all, to learn. So it will really help you learn new languages, concepts, skills, hobbies. In fact, people have written books using ChatGPT. We'll quickly learn how to do that doing that. The most important for educators is being able to research and being able to summarize. For example, NEP 2020. Now it is a 80-page PDF if you all have to read it. But it will help you summarize and quickly give you all exactly what you need in less than 2 minutes. So let us quickly give it a try so you all understand how it works. Has everyone used ChatGPT before? Who all have not used it? Can you all just do a thumbs up? Who has not used it before?
Do most
Okay.
of.
Sorry,
Most of the people would have used it, I think.
I've used it, no?
Yeah.
Okay, so what I'm doing now, I'm going to quickly summarize NEP. So one of the uses is research and summarizing. So this is my ChatGPT window. Here, I'm just going to paste summarize NEP 2020 with respect to coding education. Please add a table to explain the recommendations. Now, I have two choices. I can actually read through the 80 pages, or I can just see a summary of everything that's there. So here's the recommendation. I hope you all are able to see this. Now, it perfectly tells us that introduction of coding from early stages. It also mentions how to do that, when to do that, flexibility in the languages, how to integrate it in school curriculum, how to encourage coding clubs and activities, how to build capacity from existing teachers, online coding resources, collaboration with industry partners, and recognition of achievements. And this is such a quick summary. It took me less than 1 minute to actually read through the recommendations that NEP gives. Otherwise, I would have never read it, or I would have taken so many hours to really get to this.
Mhm.
Does it make sense? That is just
Absolutely.
one of the applications of ChatGPT. Creating, so you can actually start creating newsletters, report cards, storylines, plays, poems. So what we'll do is we'll just pick up two case studies today. First is how to develop the right kind of prompt for ChatGPT. And second, we'll learn a couple of case studies. So we'll probably create one poem and a play, and we'll also try creating a question paper. Okay. Fourth use is organizing. You can actually start organizing your day, plan, calendar, diet, workout, work schedule, all of these things using ChatGPT. We'll understand what is the prompt structure that you need to use. And you can also use it to create code. You can create basic websites, basic applications using ChatGPT. However, this is still not very well structured. So this will give you a skeleton of the code, but it might not be the final usable code. Okay. How to get great results? The only thing that you need to understand is all depends on your prompting skills. If you are really good at prompting, you will start getting great results. Let us look at a couple of examples of prompting. So one prompt is, where should I go on my next vacation? What do you think? Is it a good prompt or a bad prompt? Thumbs down is a bad prompt. Thumbs up is a good prompt. Okay, thumbs down. Okay, most of you all are saying thumbs down. But let us still see what does ChatGPT answer this as. Let me just quickly use this particular prompt. I've asked it what. So it tells me, I just asked it, where should I go on my next vacation? And it started telling me, go to Bali, go to Maldives, go to Bora Bora, go to Costa Rica, go to Rome, go to Italy. But it probably doesn't know that I only have maybe 50,000 in my pocket, right? So it is a bad prompt because it does not have any specifications. So what is a good prompt? So let's look at a good prompt. If you read through this, a good prompt would read like this. I'd like to go on a trip with my wife and kids. I've been very specific. My wife is with me, with my wife and kids. The location should be coastal in India. I'd like the train to be one direct train from Mumbai. I have a travel budget of 50,000 rupees. Where should I go on my next vacation? Kindly share a detailed itinerary in tabular format with approximate cost. You all think this is a good prompt? Yes? Okay, let's quickly try this prompt actually, and let's see if it gives us a good answer. So here I go. I type this prompt, and it starts giving me the answer. Now it gives me only one recommendation. It tells me go to Goa. If you have only 50,000 bucks right now and you live around Mumbai, go to Goa. Now it makes a beautiful plan for me of what to do once I reach Goa. Also gives me a recommendation of which train to take, which is a direct train, and an approximate cost. It has given it to me in a tabular format, which really helps me plan my entire travel. Okay, so basically, now this was a good prompt. Now let us quickly understand the structure of a good prompt so that we can use it to create MCQs, question papers, everything. Here's the ideal structure. If you all have to make a note, please do make a note of this. We'll just take 7-8 minutes more and we'll wrap this. First step is assign a role. Okay, you must assign a role and give context. For example, act as an expert playwright. Second is explain the task. Write a short play on the theme, Save the Planet. Then give specific criteria. The play should be around 15 minutes long, performed by 4 5th grade students. The name of the students is mentioned. The tone should be exciting, curious, and imaginative. Then give commands and what you do not want. So add a narrator and mention the scene sequences. And the last step is refining the output. So the first output might not be the best output. So here is the point that you keep refining until you get the best output. Here we'll end it with a short poem having 8 lines. Would you all want to quickly see the output of this prompt? Yes, no? Or should I move on to the next point?
Yes, you can. Show the output.
Okay, so here is this short play prompt. I'll go to a new chat. I'll paste my prompt. And I'll run it. And there you go. It has created its own play with a new title called The Earth Guardians. It also mentions the narrator and it also mentions the scene sequence that standing in front of the audience. This is what he's going to say. The scene 1 is the schoolyard. Tina excitedly. So it also has the tone that we asked it to create: curiosity, enthusiasm, intrigue, all of those things. And it also mentions scene sequences. So it makes it beautiful for us. But what we'll do is we'll just quickly go through the poem that it has created for us, which we had requested. So it reads like this: The Earth Guardians. In a world so grand, with wonders untold, our earth so precious, worth more than gold. From mountains to oceans, so vast and wide, let's stand together with earth by our side. We promise to care, we protect, and to save. For a greener tomorrow, fill each and every wave. With love in our hearts and actions that prove, we'll be Earth's guardians and our planet will improve. I think that was beautiful because it created this whole poem by itself. Does it make sense, everyone? Did you all like the poem? Do you all think it was worth an appreciation? The way it was beautifully created. So I loved it, and I think this is an excellent tool to create a lot of things. And this is how you all can also create your own stuff. So right now we'll quickly see if we can create a question paper using the same prompt formula. Okay. I hope you all remember what are the 5 steps of the prompt sequence. First is giving an explanation of the task, context and assigning the role. Second would be explaining the task. Third would be giving criteria. Fourth would be commands of what you want and what you do not want. And last is refining the output. So if you want to create a question paper, ChatGPT can beautifully create a question paper. So let us give it a try. I'm giving it a prompt to create a question paper for grade 7. Subject is science, CBSE board. First 5 questions should be fill in the blanks. The next 5 questions should be match the following, which is also weightage of 5 marks. Next 4 questions should be answered in brief, 20 marks, and it should have 4 questions out of 5. Next should be short notes. This is just a quick sample thing. Let us see if it can create a question paper here. And it does. Okay, and gives 2 hours, maximum marks 50. So these are the fill in the blanks. Now section B is match the following. It creates match the following. With section C, answer in brief, it creates questions on answer in brief. So it gives 5 options, out of which students can answer 4, and then short notes. Now it also mentions that please note that this is just a sample question paper and it can be modified or expanded. Perfect. So this gives you a very good skeleton of making the question paper, and you can actually go through the textbook, some questions, and refine this further. Does this help everyone?
Yes, this is awesome.
Great. The last thing that I would like to share with you all, I think ChatGPT does most of the things beautifully. You all can plan your health. You all can plan a lot of activities in the school using ChatGPT. Any other? I think perfect. If you all take away this particular slide, then I think our purpose is solved for the day. This is the ideal prompt formula. So wherever you all use prompts, this is the ideal prompt that you all should use. Perfect. This brings us to the end of our session today. We covered multiple topics today. So although we have a lot of more content to share, but we have limited time. So we'll keep it to this. If you all want to have another interaction, if you all want to plan something for your school, maybe a workshop on ChatGPT for your staff, for your students, or if you all want to plan some integration of AI and coding for the next year, I've already shared a link to which you all can maybe quickly schedule a meeting with us and we can discuss if it's a possibility.